Of the many aspects of a long and sordid history of human slavery, the West holds a monopoly on one concept only, and that concept is abolition. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, hit the notification button so you know when I post new video. So let's get on with the story. Slavery is as old as recorded history, about 6,000 years. It probably existed in prehistory. We know that all the empires and states that were created about 6,000, 5,000, 4,000 years ago practiced slavery. And we know from archaeology and other studies that even in prehistory, at least women and children were captured and taken by raiding parties. Christianity didn't bring an end to slavery. Christ said that you should do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and I don't think anybody wanted to be a slave, or very few people at least. But despite what he had said, slavery continued for another 2 millennia. Nor did Islam bring an end to slavery. If you Google Islam and slavery, you'll get a string of articles and stories all telling you that the Prophet Muhammad and Islam was against slavery and all for abolition. That was the best course to follow. Nevertheless, despite what's often said, the fact remains that slavery continued in the Islamic world from the 7th century into the 19th. And most recently, even in the 21st, it reared its ugly head again with the Islamic State and its treatment of non-Muslim minorities like Yazidis and others. The ugly reality is that slavery is still practiced in the world today. Experts aren't quite sure how many people are enslaved. Low numbers usually given about 20 million. High number, 40 million. You can see the map that shows you the extent of slavery in the world today. It's not ending. Remember, at the time of the American Civil War, about 4 million blacks were enslaved in the US. There may be 40 million people enslaved in the world today. It wasn't until the age of the Enlightenment in Europe, in the West, that newly developing concepts of humanity, of human freedom, started raising questions about the institution of slavery. By the 18th century, Europeans started putting these concepts into practice. Some, but not all, of the American states outlawed slavery during and after the American Revolution. The French Revolution outlawed slavery after 1789, actually in the 1790s. In the 19th century, the pace of abolition quickened. The British outlawed the international slave trade in 1807. The Americans followed suit in 1808. The British outlawed the practice itself in 1833, and the United States did the same after a bloody civil war in 1865. In the 1830s, the British and American navies were conducting anti-slavery patrols in the Western Atlantic. The British started doing the same in the Indian Ocean basin, all in an effort to shut down the trade between East Africa and the Islamic world, which was flourishing at the time. By the 1870s, the British had moved their efforts ashore into East Africa, especially the Sudan, trying to shut down the Islamic slave trade. Despite these facts, there are many people in the West today, especially on the left, who insist on trying to link the institution of slavery to the West and to capitalism, even though the institution of slavery predates both, not by centuries, but by thousands of years. The reality is, it was the rise of the West and the development of capitalism that led to the concept of abolition, a concept monopolized at the time, and very much since, by the capitalist West. That's what the mainstream media, that's what the progressive left doesn't want to tell you. As I said before, if you have a comment, leave one. Please subscribe to the channel. And until the next time, I'm out of here.